Hey, church girl. Welcome to Church Girl Gang, a podcast where we get to talk about life, living for Jesus, and everything in between, and how that affects us in the here and now. My name is Kenzie, and I'll be your host, and I can't wait to dive into this conversation with you. Hey, church girl. Welcome to season 2 of the Church Girl Gang podcast. This season is called Summer of Secrets. Summer of Secrets. And if this is your first time joining us, I guess you'd never know the difference, but we're actually switching things up a bit in this season of Church Girl Gang podcast. If this really is your first time joining us, I want to encourage you, go back, listen to some episodes from season 1 to hear how we were doing things before. But in this season of the podcast, these episodes are going to be a little bit shorter, and in this season, it's really just going to be you and me hanging out and having a little chat and sharing some secrets. So in this Summer of Secrets, I will be dishing out my deepest, darkest church girl secrets for you guys. You might relate to some of these, or you might just find them interesting, or you might find them a little weird. But really the point of this season is just to let you know that whatever season of your life that you're in, you're not alone. There are other Jesus-loving girls out there who are going through similar seasons and situations of life as you, and there's always a lesson that God wants us to learn through those situations. So if we haven't met, my name is Kenzie, and I will be your host. And today, I will be sharing with you a secret that I have, and hopefully, it will do for you all that I've just mentioned. I really hope that for you and for this podcast. It's funny because although I have had this episode and really the rest of this season kind of planned out for a while now, just recently I was hanging out with some girls and I was asked a question where I ended up spilling the beans on this little secret. And I think it's funny because one, it just felt like really great practice for this episode. But two, I always feel like God has a great sense of humor. I mean, he must, because he created comedy. I mean, he created everything, so he created comedy. I just felt like he had a really great sense of humor in allowing me the opportunity to practice sharing this secret before I got to this episode. On this day that I'm recording this podcast, it is June 19th, 2021. I am almost 24 years old, and I have never been kissed. And that is my big secret that I am sharing in this episode today. I have never been kissed. Yes, it's true. A lot of you who are listening might be a little shocked or taken by surprise. Some of you may feel bad for me. Some of you may be sitting there wondering, what could be wrong with me? What is my problem? Or some of you may be in the same boat as me. All of these seem to me to be very natural responses. But even though I'm calling this a secret, at least for the sake of the theme here, it's not really something that I'm embarrassed about. It's not really something that I keep a secret. I don't keep this on the DL. I mean, it's not like I go around and just talk about it all the time, but it's not really like a huge deal to me. But I will start by telling you this, just so that you know that really nothing weird is going on. But I have wanted to kiss guys, and guys have also wanted to kiss me. However, neither one of us have wanted to kiss each other at the same time. So that's one reason that hasn't happened. But I also really like to think of this as a God-given gift in my life. And so just keep listening. And by the end, I will explain to you why I feel like this is a gift from God. So my parents were high school sweethearts. And when I was a kid, I always just assumed that was kind of what happened to everyone, that, everyone kind of found who they were supposed to be with and they fell in love in high school. And I really had this big idea of just like after high school, it's all happily ever after and lovey-dovey and all the things. And so I just thought that that's what would happen to me as well, that I would fall in love in high school. And so I tried to do that. And that kind of sounds weird to say, but it's true. I tried to fall in love with boys in high school. To some guys, I was like a little puppy dog, kind of, just like following them around. The boys that I thought were cute, I just followed them around. Now, there are different kinds of puppy dogs in the world, and so instead of being the puppy dog that I wanted to be, like the floppy ears and the like big wet eyes and just like, oh, so cute. I feel like I was probably more of like the yippy yappy, like spastic kind of dog that gets the zoomies too many times, and is just like more annoying probably than cute. But listen, at least I tried really hard. But for all my efforts, nothing ever really happened. Nothing ever really panned out. And then I went to college and I thought, like, yikes, I must really be a late bloomer. So I'll just work extra hard to find someone, And then 3 years passed and I finished college, and again, nothing really happened. And that's when I really started to get concerned, where I was like, what could I be doing wrong? Or I even thought maybe there's something wrong with me, But I want to pause here and I want to share something with you. There is something wrong with me in the same way that there is something wrong with all of us. And it's called sin. That means that I fall short in different areas all of the time. And unfortunately, we've all got it. This is a condition that we've all got. And if that was the reason that I had never been kissed, then none of us would have ever been kissed. So I just want you to know that chances are that for me and you, if you are listening to this and have experienced or are experiencing something similar, you're not too weird or too loud or too short or too fat or too tall or too thin or too anything for a guy to be interested in you. So I want you to know that right now. There is someone for everyone. I mean, like, take a look around. Like, go to the grocery store, take a look around. Go to the mall, take a look around. Go just step outside, take a look around. There is someone for everyone. So I just want to encourage you, have confidence in who God made you to be. Okay. There's nothing so wrong with you that someone won't enjoy your company in a romantic way. Okay. I want to encourage you to get to that point. Have confidence in who God made you to be, church girl. You are a child of God. Say it right now. I am a child of God. That's good. Own it. Own that. You are a child of God. But on the other hand, I want to say this as well. On the other hand, that doesn't mean that we don't all have things that we can or should work on to make ourselves a better person. I want you to either pause right here and then come back, obviously, or try this exercise after the episode is over, okay? But here it is. You're going to need something to write with. Maybe you can pull out your phone or do the old-fashioned way and grab a pen, writing utensil, piece of paper, but do it. Okay, here we go. Think about the kind of person that you want to be with. Does he read his Bible every day? Is he kind? Is he generous? Does he take care of himself physically? Is he smart? Maybe he's funny. Does he have good manners? Does he have interesting hobbies? What kinds of things do you imagine doing with this person? Write all of those things out, okay? All of them right now. Now, you may not meet someone who checks off all of those boxes. That's not really the point of this. But I will say, whatever you want to see, the point of this is, whatever you want to see in that person, start pouring into yourself. Do you want to be with someone who is kind? Then start intentionally practicing acts of kindness. Maybe you want to be with someone who presents themselves well, right? Who looks good, smells good when they step out of the house. If so, go take a shower, comb your hair, take care of yourself. Start working on yourself while you're looking for that person. This is for real. Some psychologists say that we actually end up being with people who are more familiar to us. When I say familiar, think like similar to us. That's the word they use, was familiar, but think like similar to us. So whatever you want to see in someone, whatever you want to see in your future SO, start putting it into action yourself. Okay? So don't forget to do that exercise if you haven't already. I'll go back to my story. Listen, it took some time, but after college, I began to reflect. As if you've ever entered into a new stage of life, you usually look back for a minute on on your past stage of life. But I started to think about my school career, and I thought about that time and all the boys that I wanted to kiss, and especially the ones that wanted to kiss me. I thought about them as well, and I started to realize something, okay? Not being kissed has been a major gift from God. It has been God's favor on my life, keeping me away from extra heartache, disappointment, or honestly, even worse, being stuck in some kind of lifelong relationship with someone who isn't God's best for me. So maybe you're in a season where you feel like you're missing out on something, or maybe you've been waiting on something for a really long time. And I want to let you know today that God has a plan for your life, and it's richer and it's deeper and it's more fulfilling, so much more fulfilling than you can even imagine. This entire portion of my story, it's really taught me this one major idea, this one major word. So check this out. It has taught me trust. It's taught me to trust God more than I ever thought possible. Really, it's just been it's been a difficult journey at times, because I've had these swirling questions about myself, about my identity. I've experienced at times different kinds of loneliness or things like that. But through it all, God has been faithful. God has been kind. And I've gotten to experience so many different things that other people may not be able to experience if they were caught up in some kind of deep or physical romantic relationship at my age. So it's really been an awesome, awesome thing. And I've gotten to learn so much about trusting God. So today I want to leave you with this verse. It's found in Proverbs 3:5-6. And it was written by one of the wisest men to ever live, King Solomon. And if you know anything about King Solomon's story, then you may actually know that King Solomon kissed many, many, many ladies in his lifetime. So it looks like he could have used his own advice here. But the verse goes like this: trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon, Church Girl. Hey, thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Church Girl Gang. If you enjoyed listening to this and want to help us grow the gang, be sure to leave a 5-star review on your listening platform. And if you're on YouTube right now, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. You can connect with the Church Girl Gang and say hello on Facebook or Instagram. Please do that. We'd love to hear from you. And also feel free to connect with me personally on all social media platforms, including YouTube, by searching at Kenzie Carisse or heading to kenziecarisse.com for more content just like this. Bye.